That was so much easier than Cherry's house. That took me nowhere near as long as Cherry's house did. Hello YouTube, my name is sezrawrr and welcome back to another Animal Crossing and The Sims 4 hybrid video. Today I am going to be building another of my Animal Crossing villagers' houses in The Sims 4. I have done this once before. I built Cherry's house in The Sims 4. It was difficult, but it was interesting and I had a lot of fun with it. And I've also built my villagers' house in The Sims 4 as well, my own home in The Sims 4 as well. So if you'd like to see either of those videos, I will link them in the description down below. Today we're going to be looking at Bud's house in Animal Crossing and recreating it in The Sims 4. Let me jump into Animal Crossing, I'll show you Bud's house in game and then we'll recreate it in The Sims 4. So here we are out the front of Bud's house. Now Bud's house is a little bit interesting. I don't really like Bud's house, if I'm being completely honest with you. Yellow is just not my favorite color, but it is going to be interesting to try and build this in The Sims 4. We've got the thatched roof, the landscaping I did for his house. We've got some pansies again. I also have pansies in Cherry's house because I really like the pansies in Animal Crossing. I think they're really, really pretty. And we've got some tea olive bushes in orange on either side as well. So this is the outside of Bud's house. It's going to be really interesting to try and recreate it. So let's go inside and take a look at what he's got going on in there. Now, if I'm being completely honest with you, Bud's house is kind of basic on the inside. It's giving me very log cabin on the inside here. Bud is actually one of the villagers that came with me to Seztopia. He's one of my OG villagers. He's also kind of my least favorite. I just don't really get along with him that well. My character does, but me personally, I just would rather have someone else here instead. He just doesn't quite fit my vibe. That being said, he is being a bit cute for me today because he's wearing the muscle tank that I got for him and he wears that all the time because he is an athletic type. He's also got the helicopter I gave him for Christmas and the barbell I gave him for his birthday, so he's being a bit cute with that. So log cabin vibes. We've got a wooden clock on the wall, wooden walls, and this is why I wanted to do this house now. I think we're going to be able to recreate this pretty well. I think it's going to be pretty easy, if I'm being honest with you, to recreate this one. So now that we've seen Bud's house in Animal Crossing, let's get to recreating it in The Sims 4. And we're on this little lot in Newcrest. Honestly, Newcrest is just such an easy place to build in. The lighting always looks good here, and this lot is one of the smallest lots in Newcrest as well. So I've gone with such a small lot because these houses are always abso-freaking-lutely tiny. These houses are actually 6x6 tiles, so we're just gonna need a 6x6 box for Bud's house. So let's just do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is going to be the size of this house. Now, if you haven't seen me recreate Cherry's house in The Sims 4, I'm just going to repeat myself here. I'm going to try and make this house look as much from the outside like Bud's house, and I'm going to try my absolute best to furnish it and use flooring and wallpaper that's as accurate to Bud's house as I can. So because of that, I'm actually going to do a little bump out there as well, and we're going to cut off this wall here, and I'm going to section here, and I'm going to section here. Now we do need to raise this up by 2 because we do have some stairs outside of his house, 2 stairs specifically outside of his house, so we're gonna raise it up by 2. I really want to look at the roofing though, because the roofing on Bud's house is a little bit different to what it was on Cherry's house, and I think I'm gonna probably struggle with it a little bit. So let's go into the roofs because his roofing kind of looks like it's a hipped roof here. So if I put a hipped roof on really quick. Oh, but it doesn't look exactly like a hipped roof is the thing. Oh, nope, there we go. It does look exactly like that, actually. because it does come up into the point there, and then we do have a little tiny gabled roof on this part out the front here as well. But it needs to actually be much smaller than that. It really is only a feature. I'm going to bring that in. He does have like a thatched roof. Now I do know we do have thatched roofs here. We've got a couple of different options. I feel like that one's a bit too much though. I'm going to go with this one, I think. Now something else I need to do is I actually need to curve this part here because this part is actually curved on Bud's house. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty good. Maybe make it a little bit less. Now, obviously with the front of Bud's house as well, we do have these pieces like this corner here and this corner here, and they're actually curved on Bud's house. That's not possible in The Sims, so I can't make that curved, unfortunately, so that's going to just have to be the way that it is. I want to have a look at the steps next, because he's got some, like, grey stone stairs, and they're all just stone. I think it's going to have to be one of those things where I am limited by what I have in The Sims 4, and I've just got to make something that looks kind of similar, but isn't exactly the same. I think that's gonna have to be it. I can't do any better for the stairs, unfortunately. So then for his front door, we do have a rounded front door. He does have quite an ornate front door. It's got the beautiful glass paneling in there, and I don't think we're gonna have that exact kind of door. I think that's gonna have to do, because it's got the rounded top that Bud's door has, and it also has the glass paneling, like the crossed glass paneling. Why is this coming together? Why is this coming together? I don't know. I think that's pretty accurate to the front of Bud's house right now. Okay, so with that being said, let's go inside. Now, this is really why I wanted to do this, because I feel like Bud's house is going to be quite doable on the inside specifically. So he does have 2 windows, so we actually get windows in this one. Oh my goodness, that's going to be really nice. One on each side. They look like they're kind of just square windows. So then for the flooring, I'm going to do the same 2 wooden panels there. The same that I did in Cherry's house to symbolize the walkway that we have into the room, as you'll be seeing in the photo there. So that's that. So then he's got like a multicolored panel flooring. This is giving me kind of the vibe straight away. Let me just chuck this down and see how I feel. And that coloring especially, I feel like that's a really solid option. And then his walls are really just like log cabin. So I'm thinking if I can actually filter for all, and I'm gonna filter for outdoor retreat specifically, because I feel like outdoor retreat is gonna have that log cabin vibe that I'm looking for. Maybe that's a little bit too log cabin-y, I don't know. I feel like that is spot on. The layout of Bud's furniture is a little bit strange. It's not strange with what furniture he has. The layout's just a little bit strange because he's got like a bedside table, and that's absolutely totally fine. And he has a bed, which is amazing because he has an actual bed, unlike Cherry's where she had a rose Bud bed. Bud actually does have a proper bed. And honestly, it kind of gives me this university bed vibe. Now, I'm not going to be able to get the exact same bed as what Bud has because I am limited to what The Sims 4 has. I'm just trying to find something that has similar vibes. But the thing with his bed is, it's not next to the bedside table. It's in front of the bedside table. It's an odd choice, but that's what Bud decided to go with, and that's totally fine. Now, again, I know the wood swatches don't match here. They don't match, but this is the right color for what Bud has, and this is as close a bed as I could get to what Bud has as well. So it's not going to match. This is not meant to be absolutely perfect. It's just trying to be as accurate as I can be with the limitations of what I have in The Sims 4. I felt so sure we had like a log clock. I felt so sure we had a log clock exactly like what Bud has, but apparently we do not. In the middle of Bud's house, we have a massive square dining table. I don't think we've got any massively squared ones. We've got massively round ones. The lack of big square tables is making me miss The Sims 1 because in The Sims 1 all you had was massively squared tables. So I think I'm going to put 2 of these back to back to achieve that look. So then over this side of the room, we've got a dresser that, funnily enough, looks exactly freaking like this. I swear to God, it looks exactly like that. That's perfection. So then the other 2 things we've got are things that we don't actually have in The Sims 4. So I'm going to have to try and find things that are similar vibes, which will be pretty easy to do for the weightlifting thing. I'm still blanking on that freaking word. What is the word that I'm looking for? Comments. Please let me know what the word is for this freaking item. But it's going to be pretty easy to replicate that vibe because we do have a fair few of these different athletic options to choose from. So the issue is going to be how much space we have. That's going to be where our big issue is. The thing is, this doesn't have to be a functional house. It just has to look as accurate as it can to Bud's house. So I think I am going to get him one of these body machines, and it's going to have to go right in front of the freaking window. And that's what we're going to have to just say that I got him for his birthday. So then we've got the toy, the remote control toy. It's a helicopter, which is the really weird thing. It's oh my freaking God. I was going to say, what's the bet? We don't have a freaking helicopter toy, and we have the perfect helicopter toy. I'm stunned. I seriously can't believe that. That's perfect. And the last thing is, over by his doorway, we do have some keys that are hanging. The closest thing we've got to that is this little set of 3 keys. So that's what we're going to do for that. That is the inside of Bud's house complete. That was so much easier than Cherry's house. That took me nowhere near as long as Cherry's house did. So with that being said, I'm going to do some landscaping out the front, and then I'll take you on the tour of Bud's house all complete.
A few moments later.
You guys, I think I'm finished with Bud's Animal Crossing New Horizons house. Now, with Cherry's house, I tried to landscape it the way that it is in my Animal Crossing New Horizons island. For Bud's house, I decided not to do that, and I don't think I'm going to continue doing that because it's just going to be too hard. I don't think I'm going to be able to just make it look exactly like it is on my island. So what I've done is I've taken elements of how Bud's house is landscaped on my island and added them in, but it doesn't look exactly the same as it does when it's on my island. That's all. But that being said, let's get into looking at the finished version of Bud's house in The Sims 4. So here it is from the front. It's definitely got the yellow vibes that Bud's house has. It's very, very yellow. So for Bud's landscaping, he has a lot of orange pansies on the island, and the pansies in The Sims 4 are nothing like what they are in Animal Crossing. They look so much better in Animal Crossing than they do in The Sims 4. So I've just got a lot of orange and kind of yellow wildflowers because the orange pansies in Animal Crossing kind of have a little yellow hint to them as well. So he's very yellow, but that is what his house is like. So that is it from the outside. I have these little signs out the front of my villagers' houses in Animal Crossing that has like their face and their name on them, so you know whose house it is. Super cute, but obviously we can't do that in The Sims 4, so that's what I've got to replicate that sign. But let's go inside and take a quick look. Yeah, I feel like this is the vibe. This is exactly the vibe of Bud's house. It's very log cabin. It's very brown and orange tones with some red thrown in the mix as well. I feel like that's spot on. For what I could do in The Sims 4, I feel like that's abso-freaking-lutely perfect. It's very simple, but a lot of their houses actually are. It's just the challenge of trying to make them look the same in The Sims 4 as they do in Animal Crossing. I think I achieved that with this one, but like I said, I do think Bud's was probably going to be pretty easy to do that. So let's give Bud's house its little moment to shine. you guys, that's all I've got for this video of building Bud's Animal Crossing New Horizons house in The Sims 4. I'm really excited to have that one out of the way because all of the rest of the houses that I've got from my villages, I really like their houses. And I know I'm going to have a lot of fun with all of the houses going forward, and I know that there's going to be a couple that are going to be a real challenge for me as well. So if you'd like to see me build any more of my villages' houses in The Sims 4, or any of my other Sims content or Animal Crossing content that I've got coming your way, hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell next to it to be notified of every time that I upload. And if you liked this video, let me know by hitting the like button down below and leave me a comment as well. Do you have Bud on your island? I'm sorry for kind of slagging him off earlier in the video. He's just not my type, that's all, and that's okay. And also let me know who your OG villagers were that arrived with you on the island. Mine were Bud and the other one was Rocket as well, but Rocket left a little while ago. But guys, I hope you're having the greatest day ever, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!